Crushes, something we've already done in an episode. However, with the amount of submissions sent in, we figured why not do another episode about it. As you all know, when it comes to crushes, they usually end up in an awkward confrontation and scenario, which is exactly what Razorverse is all about. Showing off your awkward stories. Heyo, and welcome to Razorverse, the show where we bring your stories to life. My name is Jordan of the Fear Razor, and in today's video, we bring you yet again another episode talking about the awkward crushes and your incredibly embarrassing stories behind them. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Our first story is titled, My Best Friend's Little Sister Had a Crush on Me, by I Am a Little Illiterate. So, my best friend and I were at his apartment playing Black Ops 3. We were really enjoying the game and it was fun, though he was the better player and he won most of our one-on-one matches. So about an hour had passed and Robert's mom told him to go pick up a few groceries with her. He told me that I can stay and just watch over his younger sister, who was like 4 years younger than us. We were both 18 at the time, so I didn't really see a need why I had to watch over a 14-year-old girl. She can take care of herself. After Robert left, I was in the living room just using my phone and talking to my brother. Then Sophia came in, not her real name by the way, and asked me where Robert went. I told her he went to No Frills to pick up some groceries. She then sat next to me on the couch, and whenever she thinks I'm not paying attention, she would scoot closer to me. I was wondering what she was doing, and I assumed that maybe the part of the couch she was sitting on was uncomfortable. Just when I had stopped talking to my brother and hung up, literally the next thing I know, she had her arms around my arms and her head on my shoulder. I jokingly asked if she was cold, despite being in the summer. She told me that she wanted to be closer to me. I gotta give her credit for not beating around the bush and getting straight to the point. After when she heard Robert knock on the door, she ran to her room blushing. Now I really go over to Robert's apartment.
Our next story is titled, I liked him? By Mina_Amelia. For some reason, boys in primary school liked me. I've never had a crush, not like these guys had on me, but I still had to deal with my half of it. Well, here's an awkward story that two prepubescent matchmakers left me in. This was in 4th grade, and at the time, I was into Doctor Who. There was one other kid in my grade that was into Doctor Who. Like, really into it. He wore a homemade fez, a bow tie, and a Doctor Who shirt every day. Let's call him Neil. One day, I was playing alone in the soccer field when I walked by him. I said, bow ties are cool, as a compliment, and his tiny face just lit up. He was really excited and yelled, "Fays are cool!" I laughed and started screaming as well because I was 9 and that's how 9-year-olds bond. We yelled some Doctor Who quotes and then I ran away shouting, "Bye!" because that's what 9-year-olds do. Jump to a few days later and I was sitting alone at lunch eating the same PB&J sandwich as I did every other day. And then these two girls came up to me. They had this really smug look on their face. It was off-putting. Let's call them Rose and Sasha. Rose smiled at me and asked, "So, Mina, you like Neil?" Sasha started giggling and blushing. And with me having no social skill whatsoever, I said yeah, because I did like Neil. He was a cool guy. I just didn't know they meant like. But Sasha and Rose didn't know that. They just screamed and ran to him, leaving me thoroughly confused. Cut to recess and Sasha cornered Neil in the basketball court while Rose was wrangling me to get into the basketball court. They ran away once they got me in. I turned to Neil and before I could say anything, he started blushing like crazy and ran away. Poor kid.
Our third story is titled, Crush at First Sight, by Neor_Novis. This happened in year 6. I had just walked into class and sat down in my seat. Class was pretty boring. The teacher was blabbing on about something I really didn't care about, so I was just looking out the window, not paying attention. This was in the middle of class, and the classroom door opened, and we all checked to see who it was. I thought, which teacher is it this time? But I turned around, and I saw her. Let's call her Belle. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she was cute. she was also wearing the boys' uniform instead of the girls'. I thought that was hilarious. So I accidentally laughed a little bit, and she looked directly at me. At that point in time, my eyes locked with hers. I felt this connection, and my heart said, "Dude, go for it." So then she had to pick her seat, and for some unknown reason, she sits next to me. She looked to me and smiled, saying, "Hi, I'm Belle. Nice to meet you." Now, I was very shy around her, and I responded with, "You're welcome." Yeah. We started to hang out every once in a while. She was even getting pretty close to me, but 12-year-old me didn't understand what was going on. A few years later, I asked her out, and I was rejected. Not like myself, she said I wasn't the boy she liked anymore. But this story ends happy as I decided to get back into the things I love. I'm now in year 11, and I've seen her catch a few stares at me.
Our next story is titled The Dumbest Thing I Ever Did in Second Grade by 22LEA. Okay, this was like in second grade. And well, I had a crush on this boy. Let's call him Torin. So I really liked Torin, and I didn't know why, but I did. And so I was sitting right next to him because, well, it was assigned for us to sit there. Anyways, I was so dumb. I grabbed a flashcard from my folder and wrote down, "I love you" on it and put it on his desk. So he comes and sits down and opens his desk, takes the card out of it, and then reads it. I don't know why, but I was so dumb to do this. But after that, I grabbed another card and wrote the same thing on there and put it in his desk. Honestly, I kept on doing that even though he told me to stop. I didn't stop until he got up and told the teacher, and I got in trouble for confessing my love over and over again. This seemed to be funny at the time. Well, it was, but also it's pretty awkward looking back to this.
And our final story is titled, When Everything That Can Go Wrong Goes Even Worse by Maddox. Maddox, okay, it was Maddox. I thought there was more to that name. Here we go. This happened at school, I think in 7th grade, with this girl. Let's call her Alice. We were best friends, and I liked her since a year ago. Alice was different from most of the girls at school, and for that, she didn't have many friends, and she fought when they provoked her. So she relied on me a lot, and I ended up falling in love with her. Well, during that year, I had a crush for her, but I didn't dare tell her, from previous experiences that had ended badly when I confessed. But close to the end of the year, as there was trust between us, she began to ask me if I liked someone. I didn't dare tell her, and when I asked my elder sister for advice, she told me to tell her. And that was the worst thing that could have happened. In the end, I think that near the last weeks of the school year, when we had finished the day's classes, we were walking out of the school, and I told her that I was in love with her. Immediately, she was stunned. She did not say anything to me, and she ran away. It was very awkward and painful, because after that, she avoided me the last days and never answered. Whoa, okay, those were pretty awkward, but anyways, guys, thank you again for taking the time to watch this episode of Razorverse. Some of these stories were brutal, but you know what, at the end of the day, we all live this crazy story called life. So, don't forget to not only submit your stories, which you can find how in the links down in the description below, but to also follow me on my social media and subscribe to always be on top of the latest videos. I also thought I'd bring up merchandise in case, anyone was interested, just in case, For this week until the 26th of this month, anyone who buys a piece of merch from my store that uses that code right there on the screen, BF25, will get 25% off any purchase. So if you're interested at all in buying any merchandise of mine, show off that Fear Razor pride, be sure to check it out after, I'm done talking. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, guys, take care, and have a great day.